Hello, 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 everybody. Hope we're doing good today. It's time for a stream. Oh, that is a bad place, isn't it? Hi. How are we today? Hope we're doing good. Today we're carrying on with Cat Detective Albert Wilde, trying to solve this case. Sorry I'm a little late today. I had some stuff to do after work. Um, Kind of includes napping. I feel a bit bad about that. Um, but yeah, all good, all good. Um, what else did I do? Good question, Rachel. I made dinner. Uh, and some other stuff. You know what I did? I was looking into therapists in my area. Well, not well, yeah, kind of my area, I guess. I was filling out a big old form uh, to see what was wrong with me. Where is this game? I know. I don't care. I was doing the form and thought I'll quickly get this done before I stream. I looked at the first page, not realizing it was only the first page, and then I clicked on and realized there were 7 pages. Um, and there was no way to save the first page, so I thought I'll just get on with it, get it done. Luckily, after the first two, it was like mostly yes no questions, so it wasn't too bad, but it did take a bit of time. But yes, anyway, today we're carrying on with. I really wish this would appear straight away. There we go. Cat Detective Albert Wilde. What is going on with the door? Something is making my green screen funny. I can look at DMs. Oh, okay, yes. Oh my God. Anyway, I'm gonna go get my coffee real quick. Give me a sec. I'll be back. Oh dear. Anyway, how are we doing, everybody? It's we're back to this game. I'm hoping we haven't got too much left, so it doesn't matter that I've started late. This side is going funny as well. The new lighting has wrecked my system. That's okay. That'll do. That'll do. Okay, right. Basically, we're trying to track down who saw this body. We found out that what do we find out? The person who stole something from the body smelled of a particular drink, and we've tracked down the sheep, who is the one animal who has this drink, and everyone else thinks it's garbage. So I do believe we're about to interrogate them about that fact. That's where we are in the story. It's crazy. Maybe I am going to need to turn this light on.
Not to judge a book by its cover, and the back cover is no different.
This is a strange little game, yeah.
It might look classy, dignified, welcoming.
Am I kissing?
But that unassuming...
Oh wait, I've done this bit. Okay, I'm going to skip through this bit. I can't remember how, but we got rid of scales. So maybe we should talk to them first. I think we started talking about trouble from rival gangs. I don't know who I'm kissing. Maybe the sheep we'll see in a minute. Okay, sorry about this. So I'm trying to get back to where I was.
That'll learn them.
I gotta talk to the barkeep. Try some small talk.
And there she is.
Isn't she beautiful?
Miss Elma Gautier.
Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't realize it was going to be
The
quite
kind
that
of
bad.
trouble that wears, though. You'll have to take my word on it. What with that black and white filter, she's a seducer.
I'm trying to skip her singing.
Good siren. I don't. And this world.
Her singing
and
wasn't that great.
Elma, even if it means. Speaking.
I wish there was a better way to skip forward. Elma Gautier, good to see you. And, hear you again. Well, well, look who the cat dragged in. I'm not even certain how that would work. Grabbing my own collar, or... Oh, well, good to know some things never change. I think this was her voice. I can't remember what I did for her voice. Whew, except maybe your cologne. Have you been rolling in trash? Something like that. I could give myself a tongue bath right now if it's a problem. No, I like a cat that's not afraid to get dirty. Speaking of which, I didn't think I'd see you in this bar again after what you pulled. Yes, well, I can be very persuasive when I put my mind to it. How has the bar life been treating you, my dear? Oh, same old, same old. Bad tips, lousy front of house, terrible pay per show, barely making rent. The usual. It's a bad scene. And how are you getting by? The usual? Well, you know me, darling. A lady's gotta do what she's gotta do to get by. Even if it means a little under the table here and there.
Under the table is an understatement. Try 10 floors down, in the basement. No.
Oh, jeez,
In the
baby.
sewers. Let's just say, our first meeting was when she picked my pocket.
Wait, hold on. You probably want some biscuits, don't you? I haven't given you any biscuits. Come on. You want some biscuits? Or do you want my coffee? Come on. Give me a sec, chat. Hi, we're back.
Joke was on her. My wallet was empty, like it always is. Like I said,
We've had fun
is a
doing them.
survivor.
Some frustrating bits, but it's not been too bad.
And in this town, there are plenty of opportunities for a survivor too.
Sweetie, you're monologuing again. Remember, inside voice, outside voice. Oh, right. Well, glad to know you've still got friends in low places helping you out. Oh, yes. You, like me, always relies on generous friends. Even the ones who just throw in a little into the cookie jar, if you catch my drift. Hang on, what are we talking about? Are we talking about... I'm trying to hint that you should buy me a drink, you clueless cheapskate. Oh, right. That was all part of my plan. I mean, yes, sounds great. Bartender, can I order my friend a pineapple regret? One house special pineapple regret for the lady. I'm no lady, but I'll never turn down my favorite drink. Tastes like regret. And pineapple. Can't get enough of these. I know, your wall smells of them all the time. Big talk from a brave boy who stinks of back alley garbage, my sweet. How come garbage and garage don't rhyme in actual talk? Thought it should be garage and garbage, make a lot more sense. At least I smell vaguely like something distantly related to a fruit. So, given that, mind explaining to me why I've got a collar for one of my cases that's reeking of pineapple regret? What are you implying? That I did it? Why would I steal a collar? How did you know it was a collar? Because you just said that was what it was. Oh, whoops, damn. I totally thought that detective trick would work. But how do you explain the smell of your favourite drink? You're probably just mistaken. The smell of the sewers probably just screwed up your sense of smell. Wait, damn! Huh? You didn't mention it was in the sewers, did you? You cunning bastard. You played dumb with a collar trick just to set another trap for me. I did? Yes, I totally did. Completely intentional. Me, playing dumb. Now, should we try this again? I didn't kill that cat, if that's what you're wondering. That's a start. Let's see what else you can tell me. Okay, this is where we got up to. So you were there when the weird cat died? Not exactly. It was dead already when I got there. It was a bad scene. Okay, baby? Can you hear the weird animal noises? I was in the neighborhood on my way home from work. I was minding my business when I heard a loud crack. I probably should have let sleeping dogs lie, but I figured it was worth checking out. I got to the warehouse and I saw... What, the cat? The hole? No, I mean, yes, I saw the cat, but I was more focused on what was on the cat. On the... Wait, you mean the collar? Yes, it caught my eye. But like you said, the cat was there too. So I ran in to check on him, but he was gone. I swear on my life, he was already stone cold dead. If he wasn't, I would have helped. But since he was... What, you ripped the collar off his freshly dead body? I didn't rip it off. I unbuckled it very carefully. That's why I was there long enough to get interrupted. So I take it you noticed the cat looked weird. That's an understatement. Like I said, it was a bad scene. Have you ever seen a cat like that before? Living or dead? No, but I'd heard about... What? What did you hear? I can't tell you. Why not? Where did you hear? Whatever it is, you can't tell me? Can't tell you that either. Ugh, I'm getting a headache about what you can and can't tell me. Too confusing. I can tell you that the cat was dead when I got there, but not for long. He was still warm. I thought you said it was stone cold dead. Figure of speech, darling. Fine. Anything else you can tell me? Only that I have no idea why it looked like that. Looked like that. And I'd never seen him before in my life. Except... What? He looked like you. If you were short on 4 legs and a freak of nature, I mean. And yet you didn't hesitate to steal from me. Do you mean Google Maps, Kakos? Because I sent that to Rachel earlier. I also spend all day on Reddit. Although it's different for Rachel. Him, whatever. Actually, it made me even more eager, not going to lie. I do love treating you bad, darling. The collar stinks of pineapple regret, which means you were carrying it around, I take it. I grabbed it off the body as soon as I realized the cat was dead. But why? It's not even your style. It's not for me, ninny. It's for who? Look, that collar is more valuable than you realize. It's in high demand, shall we say. I know it looks like a silly little scrap of fabric, but... Actually, I kinda get why folks might want one. You do? Well, you clearly know something I don't. Which is not a sentence I thought I'd ever say. All I know through the grapevine is that there were several... parties interested in getting their hands on a collar like that. Man, why am I never invited to parties like that? Trust me, these are bad parties you don't want any part of. What does that have to do with... Oh, you're talking about crime and stuff. Yes, please shout it loud in the middle of the bar, which is also technically a crime, in earshot of a mook who's part of an organised crime racket. But yeah, it turns out some folks out there want that collar bad. And whoever's interested is willing to pay handsomely for them. And, well, you know I like handsome things, sweetie. It's why I put up with your pretty empty heads. That's what Rachel says to me. So you saw the body, the collar. What about the hole? There was a hole in the ceiling. I'm not sure what else you want me to say, sugar. I mean, did you notice anything about the hole? Like, I don't know, maybe any signs of explosives or fire or something? Sorry, it was more focused on the dead body. The collar on it. Bad scene, you know. But no, now you mention it, I didn't see or smell anything like that. And I would have noticed smoke. It's hell to get out of wool, you know. Compared to pineapple regret and ode to sewage. Fair point. But still, I don't think holes like that are caused by that kind of explosion. At least not this time. Holes like that? So then what happened? You said you were interrupted. Yeah, by a very high-pitched shriek. Turns out some feathery flamingo stumbled on me in the body. I panicked and the bird brain was blocking the only door out, so I ran the only other way I could think of. Into the sewers. You weren't trying to meet up with anyone there? Say, a certain green insect and his equally green goons? If you mean Manny the Mantis and the Crocodile Tears, far from it. I was hoping to sneak off their turf without them knowing I was there. They found me after about 10 minutes. My horrified and disgusted shrieking gave me away. You shrieking? What was there to shriek about? Darling, do I look like the kind of you who enjoys bathing in sewage? I had to shampoo my wool for hours to get the stench out. Bad scene, boo. Alright, but if you were just grabbing the collar to sell it for money, why not just sell it to Manny when he caught you? Oh, he made an offer. It's just that the offer involved 10 very intimidating crocodiles and a pointed reminder that the loot was on his turf. So you had to surrender the collar and run home empty-hoofed. This time, unfortunately. Too bad. Wait, this time? You know, this pineapple regret is really nice. You should try it. The ashtray flavor's not bad. You make it sound like this has happened before. Do I now? I mean, you certainly don't seem that surprised by what happens. That's just my sang-froid, my dear. Not sure what Sam Lloyd has to do with this. Is he a suspect? Did he do this before? You're lucky you're cute, or I'd be real put out by you right now, mister. So has it happened before or not? Sure has. Don't know how many times, but enough that it's almost a regular thing lately. So who are you going to sell the collar to before Manny the Mantis put in his winning bids? Whoever ended up being the highest bidder, obviously. You really don't understand how money works, do you, sweetie? I understand that means there were lots of interested buyers who were willing to compete with each other. Oh, that would be a very smart deduction from you, Al. Save for the bit where I already said as much a few minutes ago. You expect me to pay attention to what you say? Bah! And as for these buyers, any of them have names? Not the sort of names I'd feel comfortable yelling in the middle of a bar. What do you mean? It's just something that's probably illegal in the middle of an illegal bar filled with illegal... Oh, now I get it. Yes, you get it. Imminal cradle world day of stay. Sorry, babe, I don't speak your fancy French, so if that's your plan for avoiding having the whole criminal underworld listening in, we'll have to do something else. Like I said, the sorts of buyers I had in mind with the kind of cash I had in mind aren't the sort who'd like me yelling their name in public. A bad scene, you know? Of course I might feel more comfortable talking about them if you started yelling their names in public. Ah, because no one knows to suspect me, so I'd be safe if I did it. More like I'd rather you get your kneecaps whacked than me. You say the cat was already dead, but how do I know you're telling the truth? How do I know that any of this is what actually happened? What? I'm not trustworthy? Why wouldn't you trust little old me? Well, I mean, we could start with the fact that you seem to be rubbing haunches with the animals at the bad scene, as you call it. Or the fact that you willingly admitted to stealing from a corpse in order to score some cash. But mostly, it's because you're a singer in a smoky jazz bar. That always means you're up to no good. Oh, right, that. Look, I can't blame you for doubting me. It doesn't look good, but all I'm really guilty of is being too poor to be fussy about where I get my dough. I'm not bad. I'm just a black sheep of sorts. If that's the case, mind telling me the whole truth? There's clearly something bigger going on here where you're not giving all the info. A gal's gotta have some secrets. Especially when they might get her in trouble with the wrong crowd. But let's just say if you ask the right questions, I might be willing to tell you more of what I know. Whether you trust it is up to you. She asked about case 4666. So I found something very interesting in the police archives. Case 4666. Ring a bell? Should it? Considering it involves a mysterious cat, a hole, and 3 very interesting individuals, I figured it might. Tell me, do the names Dom the Dolphin, Orangutan, and Minky the Mick Jones mean anything to you? Ah, fine, I know them. Or, well, know of them, at least. They were the buyers I was hoping to sell the collar to. But they're all gang leaders like Manny, aren't they? Between them, they're the heads of the city's criminal underworld. Now you're getting it. And now you know why I wasn't in a hurry to chat about it with a goon sitting nearby. But yeah, the whole underbelly of this town's in one hell of a state. The heads of the gangs are looking for those collars, and they're willing to pay top dollar to anyone who brings one to them. Collars? As in plural? Ah, honey, you passed elementary grade grammar. Honestly, no sass, I'm proud of you. But yes, that is how plurals work. So one from this case, and one from case 4666, I assume. So this, whatever this is, happened twice? Twice? Oh, you sweet, stupid sex on legs. More like the police only caught it twice. It's happened way, way more than that. So you say it happened more than once, but what is it? I don't really know the details. But from what I gather, they all involve some sort of weird cat appearing out of nowhere in random parts of the city. Ah, I didn't think I took any cases like this before. Not you. More like the dead cats. Real small, weird legs. Although I don't know if all of them actually died. I heard some of them were alive and just went missing afterwards. Bad scene, I say. All of them blew some kind of hole in the ceiling or building when they showed up. And most of them had some sort of collar on them as well. Those collars are what's got everyone riled up. That's why the gangs are on the lookout for any random cats showing up. And why there's big bucks to make if you can bring them one. Hence why you went for it. I think I'm getting it, for once. Wow, a whole 2 times the police did their job. Don't be too impressed. It was pure luck both times that they stumbled on the cat before anyone else did. And well, both times there were some strings being pulled to bury the case, if you catch my drift. Catching anyone's drift is against my religion, thanks. Also, what did strings have to do with anything? They're fun to bat around and play with, but... Pay off, sweetie. The gangs have their fingers, paws, hooves and claws in the police pie. Clearly one of them made your case go away, so no one poked too deeply. Poking too deeply is my speciality. It's what stopped me from becoming a dentist. Or a proctologist. Thanks for that bad image. So what have the gangs been doing exactly? Besides paying off the cops, you mean? Well, they've all been keeping ears to the ground, listening for any word of one of those weird cats showing up. So they're not the ones behind bringing the cats in the first place? I don't know. But they do seem to have a good sense of when to be on alert. Just not where. Either way, when they get wind of another, whoever runs that territory swoops in and clears everything out before the cops or anyone else notice. Unless, say, a plucky gal sneaks in to grab the goods before them. And how'd that go for you? Pretty bad. But you can't blame a girl for trying. The gangs might have an understanding about respecting turf, but that won't stop them from trying to get a leg up on each other. Or several legs, really. So when they clear everything out, does that mean the cat too? Are they putting the poor kitties in concrete muffin makers? No idea. They take the cat with them either way. No one's actually seen any of the cats since then. So yeah, bad scene, even for me. But I get the feeling that's just tying up loose ends. It's not the cats they're interested in. It's those weird collars of theirs. They're fighting tooth and nail over them. Makes me think there might be a separate buyer that they're all competing for. What I don't understand is, what's so special about those collars? I can't imagine why so many are trying to get their hands on them. Well, for once, something I know that you don't. So how long has this been going on for, with the cats and collars and stuff? Oh, months, darling. It's been a bad scene for a while. How has no one besides your shady friends picked up on anything? Surely I'd have noticed something after this long. Sweetie, you don't even notice when you have kitty litter on your butt. I don't think you're an expert on what does and doesn't draw attention. Besides, my shady friends like to keep things on the down low. And they're very good at what they do. So then I guess the question is, if this has happened more than twice, how many times has it happened? A lot. Like 3, 4? High single digits? Try high double digits. And those are just the ones I've heard of. Might even be triple digits. My God, that's bad. I don't know if I can count that high. I only have 18 toe pads. Math wasn't my strong suit. I didn't think you had any strong suits. I mean, that suit you're wearing is pretty bad. So you're telling me that for the past few months, countless cats have been appearing in town through giant holes in the roof, only for the underworld gangs to show up and snatch them in their collars? More or less. Like I keep saying, it's a bad scene. Yeah, I know. You're not wrong, though. Those poor cats, so noble, so adorable, so misunderstood. Are you talking about the missing cats or yourself? Remember, most of the missing cats were also very, very weird. Which applies to you too, now that I think about it. Seems like my kitty case is just the tip of the iceberg. And not a penguin in sight to help. Well, thanks, Elmer. This will help my investigation a lot. I'm not entirely sure how yet, but I'm sure it'll come up eventually. Oh, well, that makes my risking my life blabbing criminal secrets all worth it if you might maybe sort of find it useful. Oh yeah, will you be okay? I mean, between that and the whole trying to snatch your collar from under Manning's nose, I imagine they might be mildly annoyed at you. Heh. Serves them right for not paying me what I'm worth. Besides, I've had a pineapple regret, which means doing things I'm gonna regret. Don't worry about me, doll. My wool might get dirty, but I know a good dry cleaner. And I always make the best of a bad scene. Quest completed. That'll be all for now. Don't go too far. I might have other questions. Where else would I be but here, sugar? Okay, I think we can leave.
Ugh, it'll be a long walk with no wheels. I'll need to call for a ride back to the clock store.
Oh yeah. Bucky. Ah! What do you want? So, can I borrow your phone? I need to make a phone call. What, to a lawyer? First smart thing you've done. No, just need to get a lift. What, from your mommy? No, nothing maternal about it. No siree. Now, just shove the booster seat out of the way and mind the slobber on the pacifier. Ah, the joys of being a mother. Thanks, Mom. I mean, Deborah. I appreciate you giving me a lift again. Don't mention it. I figure these are all billable hours, so a few more of these rides should put at least 2 more kids through college. Wait, you're billing me for this? I thought you were just doing it because you like me. I do. I like you because I get to bill you. A lot. You know what? I'll take it. Because right now I need all the friends I can get. I need to ask you something. Something very important. Anytime. Do you mind if I give myself a tongue bath back here? I'm in desperate need of one. Oh, yes. Yes, you are. Go right ahead. The back seat's already covered in drool from the kids anyway.
Fantastic. Now to see if I've got enough room to start licking my own crotch.
What a game. I'm gonna go grab a drink real quick, chat. Have a look at this scary owl. Oh dear, this is a weird game, isn't it? I'm enjoying it, but it's a weird game. Where's my car?
This is not a walking distance.
We're gonna go visit Mrs. G now.
You might be wondering why I'm bothering with this dull as dishwater domestic dispute, particularly at a time when there's dead cats, implosions, criminal conspiracies, and teleporting callers that defy the laws of physics. And to you, I say, first off, who are you? What the hell are you doing in my car? Get out. But secondly, a cat's gotta eat. Often and on demand. with some nice, clean water that a cattle then refused because they saw a tiny hair floating on top.
Too true.
Anyway, eating requires money. It's a whole thing. And thanks to the beasts in blue, it sounds like this big cat case isn't exactly going to result in anything fungible. I don't even like fungi. So for the sake of my stomach, I'm willing to swallow my pride, along with whatever food I can buy with my payment for figuring out this husband's midlife crisis. How hard can it be? He's only been holing up in his room for a month. I'm sure whatever caused that has to be super duper minor.
Ah, Mr. Wilde. Thank you so much for coming. Please come in. Why, thank you, ma'am. You're very kind. And by kind, I mean generous. And by generous, I mean financially generous. But you know, nice and friendly too. And what a charming apartment you have. The apartment of a sweet, generous lady who hopefully likes being praised and responds, you know, generously. Ah, you flatter me, detective. Keep at it. Oh yes, great apartment. Love it all. The couch, the tables, the rug, the windows. The incredibly large hole in the middle of the living room. Oh, that is nothing at all. Just some construction we have on the go. We're making a skylight.
A skylight that looks a little bit too much like another skylight at a certain crime scene. Either there's a crazed contractor on the loose installing giant hole skylights all over the city, or...
Would you like some tea or coffee? Feel free to ask me anything. Or knock on my husband's door if you want to see what I'm dealing with. I kind of want to start with this hole.
Looks like something blew a hole in the ceiling. And as far as I can tell, whatever it was is way bigger than the dead mini kitty.
I can see you're surprised at how big the hole is. What can I say? I love natural light. The more the merrier, right? Let's speak to Mrs. G. What can I do for you, detective? Tell me more about this skylight you're building in your wall. Oh, well, you know, when the inspiration strikes? Ha ha ha! Can't say I do know. My inspiration is usually on strike. Ha ha! You are very funny, cat. But yes, I just think one day I want big skylights. Big enough for sun, big enough for blue sky. Big enough for large body to fit through. Odd request for a feature, but I'm not an interior designer, so what do I know? How long have you been working on this skylight? Oh, I'd say maybe month. Month and a bit. You know how things go with contractors and things. Didn't you say your husband's been hiding in his bedroom for a month? Maybe he just wanted to be out of the way during construction. Or maybe he didn't like the draft. It is not that, detective. The hole, our skylight, was there for at least a little time before my husband went to his room. Something else has happened, and I need you to learn what. Let's talk about before your husband hid in his room. How were things up to then? Things were good? Not sure what things you mean. I mean, before he locked himself up, was your husband having any trouble? Any, I don't know, depression? Paranoia? Money troubles? Enemies? Really good book he wanted to finish? No, not really. He's just an office worker. Cheerful guy, very carefree. Maybe a little too carefree. What do you mean by that? I mean, that carefree only goes so far in terms of doing chores and housework. Apparently, that counts as care. But no, none of the things you mentioned happened. He was his whole dappy self when I left, then when I came back, he was a hermit. I'm so upset. At least the one bright side of all this, with him in his room, it's a lot easier to keep the apartment clean. But oh, the mess the bedroom must be in by now. You've got to help me bring my dear husband out, so I can give the room a proper scrub. Tell me what you can about the day Mr. G holed up in his room. Don't leave anything out. Alright, well, first thing in the morning, I went into the bathroom and started, pooping. Okay, maybe leave some things out. Skip to when you last saw him out of the room. What happened? Well, I was getting ready to go out. I had season tickets to the local ballet. I never miss a single performance, but unless I'm on fire and being flayed by knives. Mr. G, though, he wouldn't attend a single performance unless he was on fire and being flayed by knives, so he decided to go out with his friends. Truly a healthy modern marriage in action. Did he seem at all odd, or... No, he was his usual sweet self. Gave me a kiss on the cheek, taught me to have a good time at the ballet. And mein Gott did I! It was absolutely amazing. The lead swan was outstanding, so light on her webbed feet, and there was this one particularly handsome flamingo who... maybe we should focus on your husband. Oh, right, when I got back he was not home yet, but I didn't think anything of it. I went out for a walk, and by the time I got back he was in our room. But when I went to go to sleep myself, the door was locked and he held it shut, and screamed at me to go away and that he didn't trust me. At first I thought he was joking. Then I thought he just had bad headache. But by the next day I realized he wasn't coming out or letting me in. And it's been like that since, You've got no idea what triggered this sudden behavior in him. Do you think I would be so desperate as to hire you if I knew anything? I imagine you've been able to talk with your husband through the bedroom door. Has he explained anything or said anything unusual? Besides the fact I'm apparently a demon dog and that I'm going to gobble him up? Ah, so a regular quarrel between spouses then. Are you single? Because I'm beginning to see why. Just pure bad luck and nothing else, clearly. So it's not just the hiding that's weird, but the way he suddenly turned on you? Yes, he used to think I was the bestest of girls. He even used to call me his beloved ballerina. But now he either stays quiet, or he yells at me to go away, to leave him alone. That he knows I'm out to get him. Get him? How? Oh, horrible things, like I would kill him, or kidnap him, or tie him up in the way he doesn't like. As opposed to the way he does like. My, won't you try the cake I made? It's lemon poppy seed. I'd like to know more about the interesting lady behind the wallet. I mean, behind the case. Tell me about yourself. What do you want to know? Oh, anything really. How do you spend your days? Oh, nothing exciting. I bake, I clean, I go out with a very special group of friends. I keep busy so I do not face existential dread over never getting to do what I really wanted in life. Usual things. Yeah, relatable. I wanted to be a professional bed tester, but I fell asleep too quickly to give any useful feedback. Still haunts me whenever I have to actually, get out of bed. That if I'd made it, I'd never have to leave my bed again. I wanted to be a ballerina so bad. When I was a child, I made myself a dress out of swan feathers so I could pretend to dance to Swan Lake. Ah, how come you didn't pursue it? Because the swan they plucked the feathers from was, how you say, pissed off and sued for emotional damages and treatments for baldness. By the time my parents settled out of court, they couldn't afford ballet lessons for me. Even now I cannot afford it. Ah, sorry to hear that. It's fine, my friends say we will afford soon. Then I have all the lessons I want. Sounds like you have some nice but weirdly ominous sounding friends. Mrs. G, Mr. G, I'm curious, what does the G stand for? Gesundheit. I didn't sneeze. No, that is my husband's actual last name. Mr. and Mrs. Gesundheit. I said I didn't. Oh, I see what you mean. Your last name is Gesundheit? I didn't sneeze. And actually, Gesundheit is short for the full name, which is Gesunde Flammenwerfereinheit. Gesunde Flammenwerfereinheit. Bless you. Yeah, you see that it is better for us to shorten it and use Gesundheit. I didn't sneeze. And now you see why we just go by Mr. and Mrs. G. Never mind your life story right now. Let's get back to your husband for a minute. Do we have to? I was enjoying talking about my favourite subject. Myself. Thanks, Mrs. G. That should be enough of my investigation for the moment. If you say so. Although you do not seem any closer to solving the issue. Okay, let's see what we can do with the husbands. Go away! Mr. G. My name's Albert Wilde. I'm a detective. Your wife hired me to... I knew it! I knew you were working with her! You're one of a little gang of murderous cultists, aren't you? No, that's not what a detective is. Either that or I mixed up the flyers at the employment centre. I don't believe you. I won't trust anyone working with her. She can't be trusted. I know her secrets. What secrets? I'm not talking while she's there. She's listening. I'm not saying a darned thing with her in the apartment. Well, that's going to make my job difficult since I'm here to find out why you locked yourself in your room. I ain't here to make your job easy. If you're doing a job for her, then I'll make your job as hard as I can. He seems nice. Let's start with the basics. How come you've locked yourself away in your bedroom? To protect myself from her! That she-wolf! Why, what did she do? Ah, she's right there listening, isn't she? Or you're going to tell her everything I say. You really think I'm going to tell you anything? I mean, that would be helpful. Look, I'm just here to get to the bottom of why you're acting this way. I'll just bet you are. So my wife can find out. And once I tell you, I'm dead meat. Mutton. Murder! That doesn't exactly sound like a reasonable response. Then how about this as a reasonable response? I ain't saying a thing while she's here to hear it. Okay. Right, good talk. I'll leave you to it then and whatever you're doing in there. Let's see if we can get her to leave somehow. What can I do for you, detective? So I had a chat with your husband and he made it clear he's not talking while you're around. Ah dear, my poor Mr. G. I guess he's not going to talk about what is bothering him. So maybe it might be an idea for you to just step outside for a bit while I try and talk him round, get to the bottom of what's up. Oh, I can't do that. What kind of wife would I be if I wasn't there the moment my dear wayward hubby comes out of the hiding? The kind of wife who didn't make that sound vaguely ominous, maybe. 9. I do not leave this apartment unless it is absolutely vitally important. Like going to the ballet, for example. You left the apartment to come see me. Am I vitally important then? Ah, no, I had 2 other vitally important things to do and I fit you in between them. Groceries in the first salon, you see? I have to do those. But now I've got food in the house, my fur is all done nice, and I'm not leaving for anything short of the best ballet outing I've ever had. You've mentioned ballet a few times. Are you a fan? Mein Gott, yes, I love ballet so much. I'd watch one like 900 times. I want to spend every minute watching them doing ballet. If ballet was animal, I'd marry them. Yes, I'm a bit of a fan, I suppose. I love going to see the local ballet company every week. Watching the graceful dancers making me feel graceful too, yeah? But what I would really love is to be that graceful, you know? I want to dance like that. Why don't you learn how? Take some lessons. Have you seen the price of ballet lessons? I can't afford that. You might be able to if you didn't spend your money on going to see the ballet every week. Never! I would never give up seeing my ballet. But oh, I would love the chance to take ballet lessons. If only I knew a dance instructor who could cut me a deal. I think we know a dance instructor. Dance instructor, huh? Yeah, if only, if only you knew one. Thanks, Mrs. G. Okay. I wonder if we can go to the dance studio.
If I had a nickel for every time knowing Lily saved my furry behind on this case, I'd have 2 nickels, which is frankly more money than I've had in years. I'm fairly certain that Joe will have my fur if he catches me skulking around his wife's window. But what other choice do I have? Ask Mrs. G politely to step out of the apartment, wait until she has another appointment, come up with some other excuse. You know, now that I say them aloud, those all sound like they'd have been good ideas. Oh well, Lily's lessons it is.
I was actually thinking of the flamingo. I forgot about Lily. Lily? Lily, it's me! Open up and let me in! So... hang on, what was her voice? So, you frustrating feline, what brings you to my window again? So, I have a friend, let's say, who's really interested in learning ballet. Oh, a friend? Who might this friend be? Someone who really likes ballet. Does this friend even exist? Or is this like that time you were trying to claim you had a girlfriend in Qatar? No, she exists. She's just, friend is pushing it a little, I guess. More like acquaintances, I suppose. Non-hostile strangers. And you think getting her ballet lessons will make her more of a friend? Sure, yeah, let's go with that. Anyway, can you give ballet lessons? I figure you can. It's not like ballet is any different from any other kind of dancing, right? It is. In fact, very different. But you're in luck, because I do teach ballet lessons. As you would know if you remembered what I said about my lessons earlier. That was like at least 10 scenes ago, wasn't it? I can't remember what happened 10 seconds ago. Anyway, yes, I can give this friend of yours lessons. I've even got a professional ballerina in free lessons package if they're interested. Great. Do you have a coupon? Yes, why do you ask? Could I get the coupon? Just that I think this lady really needs the discount. So you're saying you want me to give this friend of yours ballet lessons at less than my usual rate, ensuring I lose money and time in the process? Yes. You're lucky you're so adorable. Alright, here's the info on the classes. Here's the coupon for your friend. Okay, back to Mrs. G we go. We're making progress. Ah, detective. Have you found any leads on what is troubling my dear husband? Hey, if you're interested in ballet, I happen to know a great dance instructor who's got a good deal on right now. Ooh, let me see, mein Gott! Become a professional ballerina in free easy lessons. Buy 2, get 1 free? This is everything I've ever wanted. This coupon, it is for me. Thank you, Mr. Wilde. I'm sorry I had all those incredibly insulting thoughts about you. Oh, I'm used to it. Better get going, though. Class will be starting in an hour or 2. Ah, yes, but my husband. Don't worry, I'll keep an eye on him. Or, on his door, I guess. All part of the investigation, you know? If you say so. Right now I'm more interested in important things. Like my new ballet career. Look out, swans, a new prima ballerina is on the prowl. Okay, good, she left.
Phew. She's gone. Maybe now the husband will give me some better answers. Or any answers.
I wonder how many quests we have. I hope we don't have to fill up this whole second page, or we might not get it done today. Go away! Leave me alone! I'm not talking while that she-wolf is listening in. Good news, your wife mysteriously received some discounted ballet lessons. She's left for class. It's just you and me. Yeah, right. Why should I trust that? Look out your window if you don't believe me. She should be getting into a car right now. Huh? So she is? Well, that's good. I was scared having her around still. Scared? Why? What did she do? Hang on, just because she's out of the house doesn't mean you're not also out to get me. Give me one good reason to trust you. I am very cute. Come on, how can you resist? You see these adorable furry cheeks? This big adorable eyes? No, I don't. There's a door in the way. Ah, yeah, that'd explain why my charms aren't working. I don't think that's a door thing. Besides, it's not just my wife. She's just part of something bigger, I tell ya. It's a conspiracy. A conspiracy? But why am I bothering? You're not going to believe me. No one's going to believe me. Nothing about this situation would ever happen to anyone else. You'd be surprised. So your wife, what's this about her being an awful murder killer who kicks puppies? All this time I thought she was so sweet, so kind. A real sheep in wolf's clothing. I don't know, she looked like a wolf in wolf clothing to me, but... You don't know her! I didn't know her, but now I do. I know what she did. You don't know what she's done. Which is why I'm trying to ask. Honestly, is asking questions and gaining new information a new concept to you? I can't tell you. You'll think I'm insane. That ship is fast leaving port already. I don't think anything you could say would speed up that process. Even if I say she's a crazed cultist bent on ritual sacrifice and luring strange monsters into our home, I take it back. Leave me alone, detective. You won't believe me. No one would believe me. Nobody's seen anything like what I've seen. You know how you said this was all part of a conspiracy? Well, you might be right. Turns out there have been tons of these holes appearing all over town. I told ya! What'd I tell ya? But maybe you already knew about that if you're part of the conspiracy. Sir, people don't trust me with their lunch money. I don't think anyone would trust me with a large spanning criminal underworld conspiracy. That kind of makes sense. Wait, did you mention criminal underworld? Yeah, that'd be the conspiracy part. My source says that various gangs in the city have been trying to chase down these holes and look for something. Or someone that appeared along with them. Some of them have even been trying to beat each other to the punch, or pay off others to go in and steal what they're looking for. It's a bad scene, as my source would say. Wait, what did you just say? Oh, that the gangs are trying to be first to find... No, the other thing. What your source said. Oh, she said it was a bad scene. Frankly, I feel like it's a bad pun, but you know. Alright, I'll trust you. I'm coming out. Ooh, I thought you'd never come out. Now let's get a look at you. Oh, what a fancy lad. What's wrong? Is my wall messy? Sorry, I haven't had a shower in a month, so... No, you just look a lot like someone I know. Uncannily, even. Like someone used the same model of sheep twice. Oh, I'm sure that's just coincidence. There's no other reason this someone would reuse the same model after all. It's just that you look a lot like a friend of mine. Elma? Do you know her? What? You think us sheep all magically know each other? It's not like we're known for flocking together or anything. And for the record, no. I don't know the singer at the secret speakeasy nobody's supposed to know about. I don't even go to the back cover. Anyway, now you see what I'm talking about. This is all part of the cult's machinations. And the criminal underworld is its grasping paw. Hang on, back up a minute. Before we start unpacking that. Airport's worth of baggage. What does any of this have to do with your wife and why you were hiding from her? Weren't you listening? She's a member of the cult. And she's taking part in whatever foul kidnappings they've got going on. Maybe even murder. And you know this how. Do you want me to start with reading it in her journal or start with hearing it from a victim's own lips? Wait, where do you... Oh, he's here. Where's her journal? Can I find her journal? It's a relief to have someone to tell about all this. What do you need to know? Let's pace ourselves a bit. Start at the beginning. What happened the day you started hiding in your room? Well, it all started when Wilma headed off for a ballet recital. I'd rather be shaved by a blind yak than watch that stuff, so I decided to go out in the town. But before I could do that, let me guess, suddenly a hole appeared in the wall with a loud bang? Actually, no, the hole had been there for a week already. She'd said it was for a skylight she was putting in. I was drinking some water and accidentally spilled some. Normally I'd just wait for her to get home to clean it up, but after I kept slipping on the puddle while I got ready, I finally decided to mop it up myself. Then it took me an hour to find the closet with the cleaning supplies, because, you know, not like I ever use them. But when I opened it, I saw... What? Cleaning supplies? Well, yes, but I also saw him! Her victim! What victim? What makes you say victim? What else do you call something or someone who's been kidnapped, tied up and stuck in a closet? Wait, back up. You're saying you found someone tied up in one of your closets? Yeah, that's what I just said. Pay attention. But not just someone. A strange, freakish creature like nothing I'd never seen before. Hey, I represent that remark. Huh? I mean, it was a weird, small, four-legged cat, right? What? No, nothing like that. What part I've never seen before didn't make sense to you? God, I'm amazed my wife hired you. Okay, so what was it, if not a cat? He was pink, I guess. No fur at all, except on his head and chin. Stood on two legs, but a lot taller than me. Had the weirdest face I've ever seen. Yes, I'm the title holder no longer. Is it a human? So you found a creature tied up in on your broom closet. How do you know your wife was the one who tied them up? Because he told me when I took the gag off. Wait, he was gagged? And he could speak? That's usually why you gag someone, yes. He begged me to help him, said he had been trapped in there for at least a few days. Let me guess, around the time the hole appeared? Did he say how he got there? Well, yes and no. He said he appeared in the apartment somehow. Which didn't make any sense, and when I asked him to explain, his explanation made less sense. But when I asked how he got in the closet, he was very clear there, it was my wife. My perfidious partner, my suspicious squeeze, my... Mr. G, focus. How did she manage to overpower him? He said that when he first appeared, my wife was there in the apartment. Apparently she reassured him, explained some things, made him some tea to calm him down. But the tea tasted strange and he fell asleep, only to wake up in the closet, gagged and bound. I knew her tea was bad, but I had no idea it was that bad. What else did this creature say to you, other than, help me get me out of here? I mean, there was a lot of that, a lot. And of course there was when he told me about what my wife did. But everything else he said was weird. Right, you said something earlier about his explanation of appearing was weird and made no sense. What did he actually say? Honestly, I didn't understand a word of it. Something about orbity-blorbity electrons and moron particles and spinning quintet numbers. That sounds less like an explanation, more like me when I'm drunk. Did this creature have a name? He did. What was it again? Umdinger? Shoe digger? Let me think. Oh, Schrodinger! That's it. Heck of a name. I feel for the guy. My last name's Gesundheit. I didn't sneeze. See what I mean? Anyway, poor guy seemed kind of freaked out. Though more about the closet thing than anything else, weirdly enough. Ah, yes, because everything else seems so run-of-the-mill. Did he say anything else strange? Well, now that you mention it, he did keep asking about his cats. You said that you were able to tell your wife was an evil kidnapper cultist from her journal? Well, sort of. It's also a day planner, you see. And her to-do list. She also calls it a manifestation diary. I get the picture. So wait, you read this thing and somehow between a grocery list, 5-year plan and dream diary, you got mad hostage-taking cultist out of it? I mean, it wasn't difficult. She put down cultist meeting in her day planner. Not the smartest cultist I've ever heard of. You sure she didn't write client meeting in that really bad handwriting? No, that ends up looking like diet meeting. Let me tell you, the day I asked how the diet meetings were going was not a good day for me. Creature in your closet, claiming your wife drugged him and tied him up. I imagine you had some reaction to that. Well, my first reaction was to try and find something to drink. Oh, that was kind. Water for the prisoner. No, whiskey for me. Then while I was chugging, he started begging me to keep something safe for him, to make sure my wife didn't get it. Between that, how big he was and how weak he was after being trapped in there, I figured I needed help, so I went to E, my neighbour, to ask for help. And did they? Well, see, that's the thing. When we got back, the poor thing was gone. Just vanished out of the closet entirely. No trace of him. Could he just have escaped after you untied him and left the apartment by himself? You did untie him, right? I forgot something. So if he was still tied up, then someone must have moved him. Either your wife or someone else. Either way, my wife had something to do with it. After we found the closet empty, I read her journal and... well, yeah, that was when I'd locked myself in. The creature mentioned keeping something safe from your wife. Yes, he seemed really agitated about it, so I took it with me when I went to go find help. And where is it now? I left it with E, my neighbour. I trust them and they seem like they know how to keep it safe. Who would this neighbour be and where can I find them? I said I trust them. Doesn't mean I trust you. Wait, wasn't the whole song and dance about getting you out of the bedroom, about whether you could trust me and... Anyway, I'm sure it's still safe and sound with them. I haven't talked to them since I started hiding, mind you, but they're good about this sort of thing. Still don't know what the big song and dance is about, though. You'd think that guy would have more things to worry about than some old collar. Wait, collar? The creature had a collar on him? Sure did. Talked about it all the time, but couldn't make head or tail of what he was saying. Mentioned something about looking for some other collars, too. So you didn't suspect your wife of being a cultist or kidnapper before any of this? Nope. I only suspected her of having bad taste in entertainment. I mean, ballet? Really? All free jumping and pointy hooves? So you're saying that? Oh, the giant hole that appeared in your living room didn't maybe clue you in that something was up. I figured she was just on one of her redecorating kicks again. Trust me, busting a giant hole in the wall is not the weirdest thing she's ever done. Okay, so you didn't suspect her. But wouldn't she suspect you for being on to her? I mean, if she was holding this guy hostage, surely it would have occurred to her that the reason you freaked out and hid from her was because you found him. I don't think you realise how rarely I do any cleaning. I think that was the first time I'd ever even opened the broom cupboard. She probably figured her secret was safe in there forever. Well, hopefully this has inspired you to do more cleaning around the house. Ooh, no, I'll just live in filth, thanks. Can I take a look at your wife's journal? I'd like to see what was so suspicious in there. Plus, there might be a hint as to where she took this guy. Over there, steel your mind for the horrors and evil within. You haven't seen my journal. Trust me, my mind is very, very steeled. Where did you say the journal was? Is this it? No. Oh, it's in here. It was in here. My diary. Please keep out. That means you, Ed.
Let's see what's in here.
Cult meeting. Get up and make breakfast. Clean Ed's mess. Finish cleaning Ed's mess in time for lunch. Grocery shopping. Fur appointment. Pick up dry cleaning. Pick up Jay for cult meeting. Cult meeting. Make dinner.
Gotta say, this isn't sounding particularly incriminating about her being a cultist. See, nothing at all out of the ordinary. Oh, right.
Shopping list. Eggs, bread, milk, grass for Ed. Ethically sourced meat for me. Unethically sourced meat as a treat. Tea, sugar, sleeping powder, odorless, tasteless. Rope, blindfold, gag, keep for later fun with Ed. Cleaning detergent, incense, knife, new cloak, black. Sandwiches for tomorrow's cult meeting. Reminder, J dislikes mustard and M hates mayo. Cupcakes for tomorrow's cult meeting.
Wow. This is some dark, evil stuff. I mean, she went and got store-bought cupcakes for her secret cult meeting instead of home-baked. That woman's a monster.
My personal goals and manifestations.
Wow. She even used glitter pens on that last word.
1. Finding happiness in my comfortable home. 2. Tell Ed to clean his own mess for once. 3. Earn enough money to afford ballet lessons. 4. Twist the laws of reality and morality to serve the members of our cult of greatness and to enrich us with wealth and power beyond our wildest dreams. 5. Spend more time in the great outdoors. 6. Take up knitting. Dear Diary, exciting day today. I was cleaning up yet another one of Ed's messes when, wouldn't you know it, some strange guy suddenly appeared out of a hole in my living room. I know, I can't believe it either. Aren't I the luckiest? He said he was looking for some cats and their collars. Apparently they have some sort of power. Naturally, I did what any smart lady does in such a situation. Drugged him, tied him up and stuck him in my closet. I'm a genius. After all, he might be exactly what our cosy little cult has been waiting for all these years. The ticket to everything we've dreamed of. We'll tell the other members at the ritual tomorrow since I'm already bringing potato salad. May need to ask Jay to help me move him. Luckily no one will ever find him. It'll be a cold day in hell when Ed actually opens the broom cupboard. Dear Diary, what a day. I'm so excited. After longing for it so long, I finally got to see the latest production of Swan Lake. Hooray! It was absolutely indescribable, just like the other 20 versions I saw. I've already bought tickets to the next one. I've heard it might involve a goat. I also took advantage of dear Ed being out of the house with his friends and finally got my house guest moved to the cult HQ. Phew, one less chore around the house. Everyone was really excited about our visitor and agreed we should keep him at the mansion. He was heavy to carry though. Thank goodness Jay came along to help. We got him to the cult meeting and had quite the lively interrogation. It was quite late when I got home and dear sweet Ed must have already gone to bed, innocent as a lamb. But the silly sheep left the door locked. Oh dear.
This one's dated for today. She must have written it before I showed up.
Things I'm worried about. 1. World hunger and poverty. 2. The price of eggs. Must live in Biden's America. 3. Whether the other cult members will like the pie I baked for tonight's meeting. 4. Where the last 2 collars have gotten to. We have 3 of the 5, but the first one is still missing and M ended up losing the 5th. How are we supposed to achieve our goals without them? Wait, is M Manny? I just realised. 5. My poor sweet Ed. I wish I had the foggiest idea what's bothering him. I can't think of a single thing that could explain why he's suddenly so scared and defensive of me. 6. That I'm massively overpaying for Detective Wilde's talents.
Getting a bargain, more like it. But wait, M lost the 5th. Could that be Mantis?
Yes.
Do I have the 5th caller? That's everything. Call me a crazy cat, but I'm beginning to think this lady might be a cultist. But hang on. Today's schedule, tomorrow's meeting, all of these entries are dated, meaning I can tell when these cult meetings are happening. Looks like they happen every week like clockwork. Using my deductive skills, I can work out the next one will be tonight. Or I could have guessed that from the entry from today that mentioned tonight's meeting. Sure, I guess.
Okay. We're getting somewhere now, chat. It's a relief to have someone to tell about all this. What do you need to know? I finished reading your wife's diary. It's a lot longer than the books I usually read. Not even any pictures. I thought the writing was subpar and... Never mind that, you idiot! What about the proof of her crimes? Did you see? Yeah, it is my professional experienced opinion that your wife is totally a cultist. Yep. And how much is my wife paying you for these amazing leaps of insight and intellect? Never mind that. The journal mentions some sort of meeting she goes to regularly. Do you know where that might be? No clue. Okay, do you have any idea about this J character? Seems to be a culty friend of your wife. No idea. Do you actually know anything about your wife's personal life at all? Friends, pastimes, hobbies? No? Why would I bother staying updated on all that? She's just my wife after all. I'm beginning to think the two of you might just deserve each other. Alright, well I've got to figure out how to crash a cult meeting. Now you're out of your room, you might want to get somewhere safe. Don't have to tell me twice. This whole thing is definitely what I would call a bad scene. Huh? You've given me an idea. I never thought I'd say this, but I might actually have to go talk to the cops. We need to visit Betty. Oops.
So Mr. G's wife is involved with something sinister, and more callers are showing up. But that's not what's got me thinking. 2 things are bugging me. 1, I have a big itch on my back that I just can't reach. And 2, Mr. G's a sheep. Which would be fine if Elma wasn't a sheep as well. That's too many sheeps in one case just to be a coincidence. Something's not adding up. And since I suck at basic math, I'm gonna go talk to Betty. She at least could count above 10, I think.
Well, look who's back. I still can't help you, you know. Does that mean you can help me, you can't help me, or you can't not help me? It means I clearly have to pick a simpler code. One that your tiny brain can actually wrap around. Well, either way, I'm here for something you can help me with. Or can help me with, whatever. You've got records on everyone in this city in your file cabinets, right? I need to check up on someone relevant to the case. Sure, I suppose. You're just lucky my files are organised. What's their last name? Should we look up Schrodinger or Gautier? I guess we can look up both, right? Actually, do you know of anyone called Schrodinger? Hang on, I think I know that name. Let me check our records. Yeah, he's a physics professor at the local university, apparently. Talks a lot about things like... well, things my underpaid police hind doesn't understand. Entanglement, wave mechanics... and let me guess. He's been missing for the past, say, month or so. No. He's been out of town attending some sort of bigwig seminar about physics. A likely story. Probably just a cover of him missing while he was actually trapped in a wolf's closet with a gag in his mouth. Interesting theory, but considering the newspapers have had pictures of him for weeks, with headlines like "Local University Professor Amazes International Community with a Lecture," that'd be pretty hard to explain. Which, of course, you would have known if you ever read the newspaper. But I just glance over it for the classifieds and the comics. Those are the only important bits anyway. Still, that's strange. If Schrödinger has been out of town with an airtight alibi, who's the guy in the closet claiming to be Schrödinger? Beats me. Maybe ask him. Can't at the moment, but maybe someone else can fill in some blanks. Would you look up Gautier? There's a sheep who may be related to this case. Elma Gautier. A female name. I'm amazed you met a woman who could tolerate you for more than 60 seconds. Hey, I've got plenty of female friends. Some of them even tolerate me for more than 90 seconds. Anyway, do you have a file on her? Let me check my drawers. And oh boy, I sure do have a file on her. I've got a list of crimes here down to my hoof. Like what? Stealing? Kidnapping? Murder? Yeah, more like 20 cases of is a femme fatale in a noir drama, so he's clearly guilty of something or other. Well, that and the petty theft, fencing stolen goods, blackmail, solicitation, and taking candy from a baby. The witch. Yeah, she's got a diverse portfolio of skills, that's all. Don't suppose she has any relatives, does she? Say, I don't know, a brother? It says unknown as Gautier. What does that mean, as Gautier? As compared to what? A Yorkshire Terrier named Steve? I mean, you're not totally wrong. Wait, I'm not? Man, Steve pulled a fast one on me. I didn't even notice the wagging tail. No, I meant more that she's gone by another name before Gautier, according to this. Looks like the first thing we have on file for her is a petition for a legal name change. Gautier is what she changed it to. What? Why? Apparently, the legal reason she wrote on her form was, "My original family name is bad." How bad? Apparently, her original family name was Gesundheit. Cha. Wait, Gesundheit? That's the same last name as the other sheep I've been talking to. They must be related or something. If this is one of your all sheep look-alike things, Al, I swear to salt licks. No, I think I'm onto something. Look up Gesundheit. I didn't sneeze. Ah, yes, I know. That's just the last name. And we've already done that gag to death. Look up files for any male sheep with the name Gesundheit. Or I guess Gesundheit. I think that's enough to work off, Al. Frankly, it's much more than you usually give me to go off of. Ah, here we go. A Mr. Gesundheit in the system for a parking violation was blocking a zebra crossing. Or zebras. Let's see. Yeah, that's definitely him. Who? My client. Well, more like husband to my client. Long story. What does his file say? Let's see. Works in an office. Occasional arrest for public drunkenness, but who doesn't have those in this town? Family connection. Says he's married to a wolf. Mrs. Gesundheit? Yeah, that would be my client. Or my suspect. It's a bit complicated. Any other family members? Well, looks like his parents are deceased. Only living relative is a half-sister. Gesundheit. Gesundheit. Elma Gesundheit. I knew it. I knew they were connected somehow. Mr. G's half-sister, Gesundheit. It's Elma. Elma and Mr. G are siblings. Wait, you mean your stupid insistence that every animal knows every other animal of the same species actually paid off for once? What can I say? I'm a genius. It's part of being such a master detective. Okay, master detective. So what are the implications of these two being related? Well, obviously, clearly they, I don't know, actually. This is my surprised face. But you know who would know? One of the siblings in question. I need to go talk to them and find out what's up. I suppose that's fair. At least you're doing something that could be vaguely mistaken for detective work if you squint at it. Which is more than the police department is doing. Hey, you helped tons. Or you didn't help, because you're not supposed to. You really totally unhelped. That's, you know what, whatever. I'll take the compliment. Go see these two witnesses and see what they say. Who knows, it might even have something to do with this case as opposed to weird serendipity. Hang on, before I go, there's one more name that's popped up. Oh no, I've done this one. I thought there was going to be more, but no, it wants to... Oh, I didn't realise that was going to be the end of that. Oh, Mr. G's here. Wait, why is Mr. G here? Mr. G? Oh, hey, look, I know this looks bad, but I can explain. What are you doing at the bar? I thought you were in hiding. You know, the whole locked in your room for a month thing. Yeah, do you know how hard it is to get good booze when you're locked in your bedroom? I figured now that it was safe to come out, I deserved a drink. Or 2. Or 10. Making up for lost time, huh? I don't blame you for wanting a drink. It sure has been a bad scene lately. Yeah, it sure has been. Mind you, it's been a bad scene for a lot of different animals, hasn't it? Cats, flamingos, sheep. Yeah, it sure has been bad. See, I knew you understood that, because as soon as I talked about how much had been going on, you opened the door and talked to me. More specifically, as soon as you heard me talking about how it had been a bad scene for everyone. It was like my words alone made you realise that I'd talked to all these animals in the bad scene. Or maybe, just one particular animal in the bad scene. Do I have to keep saying bad scene for you to... Enough! I get it! You've made your point. Yes, I did recognise who you heard that from. So yes, Elma's my half-sister. Same ram, different ewes. We're not super close, but we have each other's backs when we're in trouble. Like, you know, 1 month ago, when I reached out to her for help. So what happened? I assume she was the friend you mentioned who helped you before. Yeah, after I found the creature in the cleaning cupboard, I knew I needed help to get him out of there, and it had to be someone I could trust completely. I called her and arranged to meet her here that night. Explained who I found, what he told me about my wife, everything. She agreed to take the guy back to her place and hide him where it was safe. But by the time you two got back to your place, the hostage was gone. Exactly. At first she accused me of setting up a stupid prank, but she saw the hole in my wife's diary. That's when she told me to barricade myself in my room. She'd take care of everything else and come get me when everything was safe. Which she didn't. Meaning she's either the world's worst sister, or things weren't safe. Or maybe even both. Elma sure seemed to know something about these weird appearances and things. Did she already know what was up when you reached out? Nah, she'd never heard of any of this before. She didn't believe me at first, what with all the talk about collars and weird holes. Well, you know, some animals have certain tastes. No, I mean the guy's collar and the big hole in the ceiling. Ah, you tomcats. So she'd never heard of anything like this before and knew less than you did? Well, certainly started that way. I got the sense that she might have found out a little more later on, though. So you saw her a month ago when you tried to help the kidnapped creature. What about after that? Well, you know, I wasn't exactly being that social considering I was locked in my room the whole time. I mean, you could always have tried smoke signals or something. Nah, but I did manage to sneak out of the room once to call her while my wife was out. I was thinking she might be able to spring me free, but she was in a hurry. All she managed to ask was whether any more collars had turned up. Said they might be worth more than we thought. That certainly sounds familiar. I assume you hadn't. Like I said, locked in my room. She said that for now that might be the safest place for me. Apparently it was a bad scene out there. So was the whole bad scene a code between you and Elmer that I could be trusted or something? Nah, nothing like that. That's just how Elmer talks about her little side gigs, if you catch my drift. I'm physically incapable of catching drifts, but I can at least smile and nod as if I understand. That's enough for me. I figured when you said it that you'd at least talk to Elmer, and if she told you what was up, that was probably enough reason to come out and talk to you. So it proved that she trusted me, so you could too. Trust is a strong word. Let's go with consider you vaguely useful enough to actually loop you in on some info. Hey, I'll take it. Is there anything else you can think of about her involvement with the case? Anything she told you before or after? Anything you told her? Mostly just told me to keep myself safe, and she keep the collar safe in turn. Wait a minute. Back up, back up. Little further just to the left there. She's got the closet guy's collar? Yeah, he was adamant that it was important and needed to be kept safe. So I brought it with me when I went to ask for her help. After he vanished, I gave it to her for safekeeping. I didn't want my wife to find it, after all. Well, I've got good news and bad news. Good news is your wife probably won't find it. Bad news is that's because I'm pretty sure Elmer sold it to some lowlifes. Actually, I asked about that when she called and mentioned the collars were worth money. I asked if she'd already sold the one she had, but she said she wanted enough dough so we could both skip town together in style. And apparently whoever was buying these collars would pay way more if she could offer a full set of them. So you're saying she still has that first collar? Oh boy. It's all coming together in my head. In a pretty jumbled mess that I can't make head or tail of. I think I'm going to have to talk to your sister. Do you know where she is? I mean, if she's not here at the bar, she'd be at her apartment this time of day. Can you give me the address? I never managed to charm her into inviting me back to her place. How utterly unsurprising. Still, if she humoured you enough to fill you in on her little collar-con, I suppose I can humour you with your address. Go tell her I'm out, will ya? Nice. I'm going to go talk to Elmer. We don't have any other quests, that's good.
I should have known. Should have known the minute that dame started looking sheepish. Well,
these voices are starting to hurt my throat a bit.
She always looks sheepish. She's a sheep, but she's wrapped up in this case tighter than my belt after Christmas dinner, which would be pretty tight if I wore a belt. I think it's time she gave me some real answers. Ideally spelled out in small words with a helpful diagram. Maybe with puppets. I do love puppets.
Alright, Elmer, the wool's out of the washer. Time you give me some clear, clean, organised answers. Is now a bad time? It's always a bad time when you're involved, darling. It's almost adorable, to be honest. Elmer, are you alright? Perfectly fine, sweetie. Though I wish I could say the same for my apartment. How am I supposed to project aloof elegance like this? What happened? Not entirely sure. I was out on the town and found my place like this when I got back. Let me guess. Is this Mantis's calling card? Or is it one of his nefarious friends? My word, look at you saying things that are actually halfway intelligent and on point for once. Why, thank you. It's definitely skill and not a lucky guess. Just like it was skill and not luck that I end up meeting your half-brother. Alright, Nat, you have been busy. How is Ed, by the way? Out of his room and at the bar getting drunk. No thanks to his deadbeat sister leaving him there to rot while she makes off with all the valuables. That's not exactly what happened. I can explain. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I figured all this info out, but I have no idea what any of it means, so I need someone to tell me. That's the owl I know and benevolently tolerate. Here, come talk to me while I get things cleaned up a bit. I suppose you've got questions for me. You could say that. Oh my god, so many questions. Let's start the basics. I'm good at them. Well, middling. I want you to tell me how you got tied into this. I heard Mr. G's version, but I want to hear yours. See if it lines up. Also, I could use the refresher. That was like 10 minutes ago. Fine. It started about a month ago. I was minding my beeswax when I got a call from Ed, my brother. He was frantic. He begged me to come round here and meet in private. When he got here, he explained that he found some guy tied up in the cleaning cupboard, that the guy had appeared through the hole in his roof and that his wife had trapped him. Did you believe any of it? I mean, I kinda wouldn't put it past his wife. Real wolf in sheep's clothing, you know? But the rest seemed pretty far-fetched. Especially when we got to his place and the closet was empty. I figured he was pulling the wool over my eyes. What convinced you he was telling the truth? Well, for starters, how terrified he was. My brother can't act to save his life. But mostly what convinced me was reading his wife's journal. It matched her handwriting and his story. That was when I freaked out and told Ed to lock himself in his room. I was worried his wife would do something bad and I wanted him to be safe. Why not ask him to come stay with you instead? Wouldn't he be much safer here? Have you met my brother and seen how he cleans? My apartment would look worse than it does now. Besides, his wife would have been way more suspicious if he left like that. Yeah, not like she was suspicious that her husband suddenly locked himself in his room for a month with no explanation. That's not suspicious at all. Look, I panicked, okay? At least he was safe while I found a way to get us both out of town. Speaking of safe, what about the collar? Did he give it to you for safekeeping? Yes, he did. He said that the guy in the closet said it was very important and he begged Ed to keep it safe from his wife and her weird cult brunch group. Ed didn't know what was so important about it, but he felt he owed it to the guy, and I figured I'd humour him and help out by keeping it safe. Let me guess. You said yes because you knew the gangs were looking for them and paying big money? Wrong, as usual. The gangs hadn't said a word about the collars. This was the first I'd ever seen or heard of them. I took the collar and hid it just for my brother's sake. It was only later that it became clear how valuable it was. Should have known your wool was dirty, Albert. You lied to me. Firstly, that isn't a question. Secondly, when? All that stuff I told you about the gangs looking for collars was the honest truth. You didn't tell me that you had a brother. You didn't exactly ask about my family tree, sweetie. You were too busy being smug about pineapple regret. Besides, why would I mention him? It's not like I had any reason to think it was relevant to your investigation. You mean other than the fact that he found a hole in his apartment like the one in my case, met someone with a collar like the one in my case? Okay, maybe there was some reason to think it might be relevant. My point is, you made it sound like you only had vague rumours from your contacts. You never mentioned you actually found a collar and learned about what was going on. And my point is, my brother was trapped in his apartment by the wolf of a wife and a cult of kidnappers. I wasn't about to put him at risk by sharing more info than I had to, particularly not in the middle of a public bar. Still, I'm not sure if I can trust you. Darn, I'll try to contain my disappointment. So you told Mr. G to hole up in his room and took the collar with you. What happened next? I assume you had some sort of plan. I was going to arrange for both of us to get out of town. Between my sister-in-law and the kooky cult family, I figured Ed wasn't safe here, and neither was I. But holy cod, do you know how much bus tickets out of the city cost? I swear the trolley companies are fleecing us blind. Tell me about it. I tried to go on a trip once, and the return ticket would have cost me both my kidneys. At least since you were going one way, it'd only be one each. But I like my kidneys when they are, thanks. Besides, that's just the crappy bus. A lady like me has to travel in style. Plus, you know, we need more money to set ourselves up in wherever we move to. So we couldn't go anywhere until I scored some funds, and on a lounge singer's salary, you get why it took a while. Let me guess, that's where the collar came in. Sort of. Like I told you before, I started hearing chatter in the underbelly about the gangs looking for collars like the one I had. I put two and two together and realised they'd want mine too. And I did consider just selling it and getting clear, but then I realised they weren't just looking for one, but for as many as they could find. So you got greedy. Sorry, had an idea. Look, selling that collar would have gotten one of us as far as Dogbuttville, middle of Dogbutt. Like I said, highway robbery, but selling a set of collars could set us both up for life. So yeah, I held on to the one my brother gave me and I started looking for opportunities to grab a few more if I could. Figured I could collect a few, then sell them all together for big bucks to the highest bidder. Except that Mantis put a little fly in your ointment. Darling, I don't use ointments. This is all natural glow. You didn't really answer the early question properly. Do you have any idea who broke in and did this? My non-existent money's on Mantis and his crocketeers. They were the ones who caught me with that collar. I wouldn't be surprised if they suspected I might have another. Not to mention, you know, someone happened to start asking me questions while one of his goons was staking me out. Really? Who was that? They might be relevant to the case. Oh, you mean me. Oops. But are you sure it was Mantis' gang? Could have been one of the others. Or maybe even the cult that Mrs. G's part of. Other gangs might be possible. Gossip spreads on the seedy part of town. If they heard about me trying to steal from Mantis, maybe they thought I had stolen from them too. As for the cult, maybe. I don't know much about it other than that diary. How would they know that I was involved or where I live? Right, it's not like your sister-in-law is part of the cult or anything. You know, every now and again you say something smart and I don't like it. Well, I may not know who's behind it, but I at least have a lead on finding the animal who actually broke in and tore up the place. You do? How? Whoever was here got sloppy and left their hat behind. It's definitely not one of my hats, or Ed's, or his wife's. So all I have to do is go through the other, couple of million animals in town and figure out whose hat it is. Easy, right? Interesting. Mind if I take a look at it? I might be able to identify it, or find a way to track its owner. I really doubt that, but knock yourself out. It's over there in the middle of the mess. So what started the gangs all hunting for all these collars anyway? Let me guess. You wanted cash, so told them about the one you found and convinced them they'd be valuable? Darling, you do well as a fiction writer. Except for, you know, the whole being unable to spell and string sentences together thing. No, I didn't tell a soul about the collar. Trust me, they started talking about those collars perfectly fine without my help. And when did that start? I'd say within about a week or so when I went to my brother's place. In other words, within a week of the cult removing the closet guy out of your brother's apartment. Think it's connected? I kinda hope not. I don't like the idea of the criminal organizations of this town working for a weird kidnapping cult. Anyway, they only said that the collars were incredibly valuable. Haven't got the foggiest why that would be. Oh, I've got my thoughts on why. But they did also say they were only expecting a limited number to show up. And that they would pay a premium to get every single one. So what about this cult your sister-in-law's hanging out with? Do you know anything about them? Not really. No more than my brother did, I suppose. But clearly they're up to no good. Who sticks a guy in a closet for weeks and takes him somewhere else? Well, there was this one time in school when one of the class clowns locked me in a closet for a week. I don't believe it. What, that I was stuck there for a week? No, that you went to school. I totally did, and this guy locked me in the closet. But okay, he didn't lock anything. I just didn't know how to open doors, so I sat there for a week. See, that I do believe. But as for this cult, any clues to where they might have taken that guy in the closet? Which part of I don't know anything didn't make sense to you? Probably wherever they're holding their meetings. Wherever that might be. Aha, so if I can find their hideout, then I can solve the mystery. Somehow, I guess. I don't know. It's as good an idea as any others I've had. That's not a ringing endorsement. So you've had one of the collars with you for a while. What do you know about them? Next to nothing, really. Apparently the guy in the closet explained it to Ed, but Ed didn't understand a word of it, and neither did I when he tried to remember it. Apparently they've soaked in... what was it? Precipitation? Participles? Particles. That's it, some kind of particles. But really, it just looked like a really boring, ordinary collar. So you never figured out the little trick it can do? What little trick? Oh, nothing. Just something that would have probably helped with your money and transportation woes. What? Anyway, I take it the gangs weren't forthcoming either about why they wanted these things. No, only that there were a certain number and that they were looking to collect every single one. That's why I figured I should get as many as I could. Get a better price. Ironic, and now you've got no collars at all. First, that's not what irony is. Second, actually yes I do. Wait, what? Wait, back up. Did you say you still have the collar? Of course, I'm not a lost little lamb, darling. I made sure to hide it where nobody else would ever find it. Where? You're not really understanding the point of a hiding spot, are you? It's to make sure nobody finds what's there. Hello, Commander. Good to see you. Telling you would defeat the purpose. Well, I'm a nobody, so does that mean I find what's there? I'm not telling you where I hid it. Good luck finding it. Alright. Hope you're doing well, Commander. Good to see you. I can look in there. Wasn't there a hat I was supposed to look at? That's to leave, I guess. Ah, the hat's down here.
Elma's right.
Yeah, I'm doing good.
The thief did leave a hat. Not a particularly stylish one either. I call it the Cow Pat Special. Hang on. I've seen this hat before. I've seen someone wearing it. It's on the tip of my tongue. Almost got it. Wait a minute. It can't be. Then Jay is. It's Jimmy. The
Fucking
thief,
Jimmy.
the one working with the cult. It's Jimmy. Should have known he was a stool pigeon. Or, well, the opposite, I guess. I should tell Elma who did this.
Apparently I can look in here. Is this where the collar is? No. Haha! It is where the collar is. Wait, this isn't booze. This is just that collar you were hiding. Ah, yeah, I thought you already had that figured out and were just coming up with an excuse to get close and open it up. Yes, that is exactly what I was definitely trying to do. Definitely wasn't just trying to find your secret booze stash. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm not letting you have that collar. Ed told me to keep it safe. And besides, it's mine and I earned whatever cash I can sell it for. Nice try, but I need it as part of the investigation. It could crack the case wide open. I don't care about your investigation. I care about my brother and that money. So I'm not handing it over to you. Let me put it this way. Whoever's behind this has already proven they're dangerous enough to absolutely wreck your place looking for whatever collars you have, right? If they think you still have any, then next time they might try and do worse to you. Maybe wreck your face, or worse, your wall. They wouldn't dare. Between criminal gangs and kidnapping cults, I think you know they'd absolutely dare. And you know blood doesn't wash out a wall. But cat fur, totally washable. Everything licks clean off, baby. If I have the collar, I'm the one they'll try and kill. Well, why didn't you say so? Take it. Not going to lie, I thought it was going to be harder to convince you than that. What can I say? You sweetened the pot a little. Besides, I can always grab it back off your corpse. I have experience with that. I just don't know how a stupid collar is supposed to help an investigation. I'm not quite sure either. Though I know one way one collar can be useful. What's that supposed to mean? Oh, nothing. Don't worry about it. I just have to figure out how it might help. But I'll keep this one safe in the meantime. Cool. So we've got both collars, and now we know Jimmy is part of the cult. I suppose you've got questions for me. Elma, I recognize the hat. It's Jimmy's, and he's working for the cult. He's Jay in Mrs. G's diary. Jimmy? I don't... Wait, you mean Jimmy at the newsstand? Now that you mention it, he does always wear hats like these. Why, that little creep! I'm gonna show him a bad scene. You're not gonna be impressed about my awesome detective work? I think I'm too much in shock to really wrap my head around it, honestly. Well, how about this? You shouldn't go after Jimmy. Okay, we've looped back to stupid again. This is familiar territory. What I mean is, he's our best link to the cult. The Journal said they're having another meeting soon. It's guaranteed he'll have to go back and report how this break-in went, right? That's my chance to follow him back to wherever this cult meets, get the drop on them, hopefully save Closet Guy from their clutches, solve the mystery of the collars and cats, and save the day. This doesn't sound as much fun as punching him in the beak. Besides, how are you going to follow him back to this cult lair? Why, with my feline skills of tracking and stealth, surely. Okay, maybe a plan B might be a good idea. Maybe I could convince him to take me with him. Ow, what are you going to do? Try and trade my hard-won collar to him so he'll bring you along? Oh, don't be absurd. I wouldn't use that collar to get to him. But wait, what if I used a different collar to get to him? I've got it! I have a foolproof way to get myself instantly to this cult place once Jimmy gets there. You do? How? Haha, I'm not telling. This time, I'm going to be the one with all the secrets. Doesn't that annoy you now the shoe's on the other paw? Not particularly, darling. That would involve caring, which I don't. Well, fine then.
Anyway, my plan was perfect. Get my collar on Jimmy somehow. Wait until he's left for the cult meeting, then use it to teleport to his location. Now all I have to do is figure out how to get the collar on him. But how to do it?
Hello? Hello? You there, Al?
Pat him on the back and tape it to him. No. Catapult it onto his neck. No.
He's monologuing again, isn't he? God darn it.
Boy, coming up with brilliant plans is hungry work. I'm starving. I could use a sandwich. Wait. That's it.
Helma, can I use your kitchen? I need to make a sandwich quickly. You know, sometimes the way your brain works terrifies me, sweetie. You know what? Fine. Go ahead. Make me a sandwich while you're at it. The kitchen's right through there. Hopefully it won't be too messy.
If there's one universal truth among animals, it's that everyone wants a sandwich when they're hungry. It's true for me, and that means it's true for everyone. Besides, Mrs. G's diary mentioned making sandwiches for a cult. So there's no way Jimmy's gonna turn down a sandwich. Not even one with a secret ingredient. The secret ingredient being my collar. All I have to do is wait for him to take the sandwich with him to the cult meeting, and then teleport there and nab them in the act. But first, I have to make the sandwich. It has to be a sandwich tasty enough for Jimmy to take it with him, but not so tasty that he bites into it and gets a beak full of collar. And it's gotta be thick and sloppy enough to hide the collar. So, to start, let's go with...
Tons of mustard.
A good sandwich always has tons of mustard. And by good sandwich, I mean sandwich that I like. Of course, Mrs. G's diary did mention that Jimmy disliked mustard. But he's a bad guy, and therefore wrong. So, tons of mustard. Now to add. What self-respecting pigeon is gonna turn down bread and birdseed? In fact, maybe I should put in an extra slice in the middle. You know, bread sandwich. Jimmy's gonna love it. Maybe a few extra slices just to be sure. Next, I'll add. Looks like this small, wilted cabbage is the only veggie Elma has in her fridge. I guess sheep go through their veggies pretty quick. Cabbage is basically the same as lettuce, right? Totally. I'll just stuff whole leaves of it in. I'll put the whole head of cabbage in, just to be safe. It's small. It'll be fine. Now, next. Okay. Just have to smoosh my collar in the middle of all this bread and cabbage and mustard. I guess this would count as adding collard greens. Well, I thought it was funny. Good job, internal me. Alright, sandwich is all ready to go. Now I just have to get it to Jimmy. There's nothing else I have to do here.
How? Sweetie? Have you made an extra sandwich for me yet?
Okay, one thing I have to do. I think there's enough bread and mustard left.
Alright, let's get out of here.
Back to where it all started. To the bird who sold me that newspaper that got me onto this case to start with. I should have known. Can't trust anyone in this crazy town. Backstabbing.
Hopefully we're getting near the end. I think we're about to crack the case.
All of them. I'm the one bringing them all to justice. Shining a light on whatever weird, criminal, culty ring has got its claws into this city. Just wish, you know, justice and truth paid a bit better.
Alright, Jimmy. I got you a sandwich. See, he's not wearing his hat. Oh, it's you again. What do you want, cat? I think this is the first time I've ever seen you bare-crested, Jimmy. Where's that hat of yours? Ah, beats me. Dropped it somewhere, I suppose. It shows that you look so much different without it. More sinister. Suspicious. Well, better than being a cat and looking sinister and suspicious all the time. Anyway, you didn't answer the question. What do you want? I want you to confess that you're hungry. You've been here for hours. Surely you've got to be peckish. Haha, get it? Because you're a bird and I can't decide if I hate cats or I just hate you. Oh, is that any way to talk about someone who's made you a sandwich? I figure you can take it and have it on your break. Wherever that might be happening. You? Made me a sandwich? Why? Actually, I'm handing out the sandwiches to everyone. I came by to give one to you and Rudy. But I guess Rudy's out, so... Why are you handing out sandwiches of all things? Because I feel like I need to make a better effort to be nice to people. And everyone loves sandwiches, obviously. Except for animals with no way to process gluten. You know, like us birds. Sure, like... Oh, right. But trust me, this sandwich is worth nightmarish indigestion. So what kind of sandwich is it anyway? See this bread? It's birdseed loaf. You like birdseed, right? Sure, but not enough to make a whole sandwich out of. Wait, is that 3 slices? I knew you'd like it. I sincerely hope you didn't just make a sandwich out of 3 slices of bread. There's something else in there, right? Oh, most definitely. Something you can really sink your beak into. Anyway, I'm sure it'll be a nice meal for later. Like later, during your break. Not now. And maybe not before you get where you're going for your break. Which is home, I'm sure. But could be somewhere else fun, I'm sure. Oh, you also might not want to bite your beak down too hard. Some of the fillings are a bit on the tough side. Ah, whatever. I'll take the sandwich if it'll shut you up. Oh, great, here you go. All wrapped up in a nice little paper bag ready for you to have later. What are you standing around for? Waiting to watch me eat it? No, just waiting for a nice thank you for my thoughtfulness and willingness to bury the hatchet. You're going to be waiting a long time. Now go wait somewhere else. I've got to clear up before I head off for my break.
All the pieces are in motion. It's the point of no return. The moment when the facts come to light and the case solves itself. The moment when I'm finally able to figure out what the heck is going on. Sometimes, partly, bits and pieces. If that. Jimmy's got the sandwich with the collar inside it. By now, he'll be on his way to the cult meeting, if he isn't there already. Planning ritual kidnappings and home break-ins is hungry work. Obviously, he'll want to bring a tasty and filling sandwich to their hideout to munch on. Meaning I can teleport there, via the collar inside. And once I'm there, all I have to do is bring the entire cult to justice. Expose their ties to the criminal underworld. Save the closet guy, and get justice for that poor dead warehouse kitty. I have no idea how I'll do all that, but I'm sure I'll figure it out as I go along.
Alright, here we go.
Alright, Jimmy should be wherever he is. Wherever that may be. I've got no clue where this'll teleport me to. I flip this switch, and there might be no coming back.
It's gonna be where he was anyway, in that hideout, isn't it?
Not without a long, long walk. Let's go, before Jimmy gets too peckish and starts tearing into that sandwich.
Oh, loading forest.
Whoa. What is this place? What is that stuff on the trees? Why are they green all of a sudden? And how do I even know what green is? Well, if it's in color, this place has to be important, right? This must be the cult hideout. Seeing as Jimmy definitely would have taken such a nice sandwich all the way to HQ for their little meeting. He definitely wouldn't have thrown the sandwich away out the window of his car. Like it was garbage. What the heck? How could he toss my paw-made sandwich like that? I spent minutes slaving away to make that. I'm gonna make him pay. Besides, throwing things out of a moving vehicle, that's litter. I can excuse cult rituals and kidnapping, but litter is where I draw the line. Better keep this safe. It seems to end up in the garbage otherwise. Now, to find where Jimmy went. I'd better be careful. This is cult territory after all. The whole forest could be crawling with cultists. Anyone I bump into is likely to be working for the cult. I'd better keep my cat's eye peeled.
I mean, there's some kind of meeting going on over here. it's Mrs. G.
I knew it. Cultists. There's no other explanation as to why anyone would be out here. Except for, you know, all the perfectly good explanations as to why someone might be out here. But what are the chances they'd have a good explanation?
Open wide, sweetie. I made your favourite grass salad. Oh boy! Nom nom nom. I'm so glad you finally came out to get some fresh air. I've been so worried about you. Well, it was one of those things, you know. But I'm here now. Could you pass me more grass salads? Mr. Wilde, my husband came out of his room at last. Isn't it exciting? It sure is something. So should I invoice you for my services, seeing as you hired me to help with that whole thing? Ah, no, I hired you to find out why he was in the room, and you never did find that out. He told me himself that he just had bad gas and felt grumpy. He came out on his own, too. So it seems, Detective, you didn't really do anything to earn your pay, so I don't see why I should pay you a cent.
That was the moment I knew she was pure evil. Kidnapping and joining a dark cult is one thing, but stiffing me on my bill, unforgivable.
So what are you doing out here so late at night, Detective? Oh, practicing my monologue. A quiet night in the woods is the perfect place. Doesn't bother anybody. How about you? What could you possibly be in the woods for, Mrs. G? I figured my poor husband could use some fresh air, no? It's a lovely evening, too. I bet you and us are not the only ones enjoying the night. Oh, I'll bet there are all sorts of folks out here. And I'll bet you're eager to meet up with some of them. Why not? I'm not a lone wolf. I like socializing and good company. And you and my husband are, well, your company, I suppose. Right, well, I hope you find some of your friends out here. Who knows, maybe I'll bump into you all. Don't be offended, but I hope not. Piss, what the hell are you doing? Isn't your wife with the cult? Wasn't the whole point of hiding in your room to stay away from her? Well, yes, that's all true, and I was going to stay away, but, you know, after some time away, I found myself having second thoughts. New perspective, I suppose. What kind of perspective makes it seem like going back to a cultist kidnapper is a good idea? The perspective that if I leave her, I gotta do my own cleaning and stuff. Frankly, I'd rather take my chances with her. Kidnapper cultist. Yes, but at least she knows her way around the cleaning cupboards. Because she trapped a guy in it. Well, yes, I know I was making a big deal about that, but on the other hand, I don't want to have to make my own bed, so it balances out. Okay, now where do we go? Further up the path, I guess. Who's this? Alright, Commander, thanks for stopping by.
Encounter, then another.
Have a good rest of your day.
That can't be a coincidence, right? Please tell me I'm right. Okay. The previous suspect might have claimed a good reason for being out here, but surely this one will spill the beans.
Lily and Joe. Yo, what are you doing out here, cat? I might ask the same thing of you, Joe. I'm out here spending some quality time camping with my wife to get her away from the tomcat who keeps chasing her skirts. And look who decided to show up anyway, in the middle of nowhere. Who? Is it a cultist? Huh? No, it's you, you jerk. You keep asking my wife favours, and now you show up during our little camping trip, and then you wonder why I'm suspicious. Hey, I'm the one who should be suspicious here. Who would want to go camping with the person they married? No, gotta be a cover. The only cover around here is the one they're going to put over your body if you don't clear off and leave my wife alone. But why would they need to... right. Got it. Leaving. Lily, what are you doing here? Oh, wow, sweetie. Wasn't expecting to see you out here in the middle of our romantic couples camping weekend. You and Joe are camping? Yes, we thought it might be a nice way to spend some time together. Is there a problem with that? I mean, it's a little inconvenient that you picked the night that a bunch of suspicious folks decided to go hang out in the woods. Or maybe it's very convenient for you both to be out in the woods too, if you catch my drift. I mean, it was my day off, so I guess that counts as being convenient. I mean, I suppose so. Oh, where are we going to find these cultists? It's Jimmy and Rudy.
More animals. Since when did animals live in forests like this? Okay. This time it's gotta be a cultist confession, right? What are the chances that a third suspect has a legitimate reason to be out here?
What the? No, not here. See anything, Rudy? I'm not looking for you. Hang on, what was his voice? I'm not looking for you, Jimmy. You lost your hat. You go find it. I mean, I might have dropped it out here when I was hiking, but I guess there are, other places I could have dropped it. Not my problem. All I know is you better find that hat, or it's your job. Who ever heard of a newspaper busker without a jaunty hat? Oh, great! Now the cat's here too. What do you want? I want you to confess your diabolical crime. That you threw away that lovely sandwich I made for you. How could you? You didn't even take it with you. Oh, please. Look, from what I can see, that sandwich was literally just 2 slices of stale bread with some wilted greens. And mustard. I ate mustard. Yes, but it's the thought that... Wait, did you say from what you could see? As in, you didn't even try a bite of it? No comment. Also, how did you know I threw away the sandwich? Matter of fact, how come you're out here in the first place? No comment. I hope you don't end up feeling peckish when you get to wherever it is you're going, if you're going anywhere. Anywhere that's away from you, cat. Rudy, hi, what are you doing out here? Hiking and getting some peace and quiet, that's what. And making sure Jimmy finds his damn hat. Which, gotta say, is kind of cutting into my peace and quiet time. Rudy, trust me on this. Jimmy's not as nice as you think. He's actually kind of sketchy. That's rich. You're telling a bookie that this guy is sketchy. Like I'm not up to my antlers in sketch. I'm basically taking sketch classes. But you know what's really sketchy? Guys who don't pay their debts but still have the time to go on nature walks instead of making money. That seems oddly specific. Who are you talking about? Why am I not surprised that you forgot that you owe me money? Oh, right. I'm working on it. I've almost solved this case, and once I have, I can pay you back. Somehow. Not quite sure how, but... Cat, stop talking. Just get me my money. I might have some friends have to pay you a visit. Are these friends the sort of friendly neighbourhood kneecapped variety? Or are they the sort that hides in the woods and practice weird sacrifices? Wouldn't you like to know? Oh, I can see a couple of yellow dots in the distance. Oh, there's so many. So many yellow dots.
Call me a crazy cat, but I'm beginning to see the tiniest inklings of a pattern here.
So, where do I know you from again? Vulpine Velocity Courier! Our speed is our service! Oh, right, the courier. What are you doing here in the middle of the forest? Wait, let me guess. You have a package? A ticking package? No, a bloody package. Sent to be hand-delivered to your clients. No, your boss is with the cult. Nope, I'm actually off work. Oh, then that's even more suspicious. What reason could you have for being in the middle of nowhere? A brisk jog, of course. Gotta go jogging and hiking to make sure I keep it at tip-top speed. And this is a nice place to come get some exercise. My only exercise is doing a few push-ups while I bury my face in a plate of food. No one needs to be out here to get in shape. I call shenanigans. No, that's our rival company, Shenanigans Shipping. We're Vulpine Velocity Courier, remember? Our speed is your service. we go over here first? Actually, that looks like an actual meeting. Let's go.
What the? Is the entire city out here today? Is it National Take Your Suspicious Butt to Your Local Forest Day? Because if so, I'm sorry I missed it. I thought I had it on my calendar. It's my favorite stat holiday, after all.
Francis, what are you doing here? Working on my interpretive dance moves and trying not to be interrupted by annoying cats who show up in the middle of nowhere. Why are you in the middle of nowhere? Couldn't you do this in a dance studio? I'm connecting to nature. Obviously. What's so weird about that? Well, other than the fact you happen to be out here at the same time as a bunch of cultists bent on nefarious ends, nothing weird at all. Excuse me? Are you accusing me of something? Accusing? No. More like throwing something out there in the vague hope that you'll break down and confess your real reason for being out here. I'm pretty sure that counts as accusing. Either that or... Wait, okay, scram, cat. I gotta practice. You've just given me the perfect idea for my next interpretive dance routine. The throw something out there in vague hope you'll break down and confess dance. Glad to help. Let's go talk to these crocs. Oh no.
I don't know what's
Oh yeah, they are
weirder.
crocs.
How crowded the forest is getting. How everyone I know is out here picking berries or whatever. Or how somehow none of them have caved under my keen observation and skilled interrogation and immediately confessed to being a cultist. I've tried nothing, and I'm all out of ideas.
Alright boys, come to order. This session of the... Hang on, this was a whispery voice, wasn't it? This session of the Crocodile Tears AGM is now in session. Oh, first, any new business? I was wondering about instituting casual Tuesdays. Mantis, what are you doing here? As if I don't already know. Oh, you again. Do you mind? We're in the middle of our annual general meeting. I don't have time for distractions. I'm here on business. I'll just bet you are. So, is that it? What do you mean? I stole your collar, remember? That collar that I gather you gangs have been trying to collect? Are you going to try and fight me for it? Steal it from me? Chase me down? Not in the middle of our AGM. That'd be disruptive, dig? I'll handle you afterwards, wise guy. Okay, how long will that take? Well, we've got a lot of admin to cover, so maybe 2 hours. 1 if we're lucky. Alright, guess I'll start worrying around then. Oh hey, you again. You told me I had to leave the bar and deal with some trouble the other gangs were stirring up. Yeah, about that. Turns out you were right. You did us a solid, cat. Oh, that's good to know. Always happy to help. Definitely not doing it just to get you out the bar so I could talk to the sheep you were tailing. So are those other gangs out here in the woods tonight, or is it just you? Just getting a sense of who's working overtime, if you get what I mean. Nah, I don't really get what you mean. But I suppose it's possible they're having their AGMs too. It is that time of year. Oi, I know you, don't I? You're that damned cat that scarpered our collar. Oh, and now you like the collar back, I take it? Honestly, doesn't bother me either way. I still get paid the same. I thought the collars were worth a lot to the right buyer. Yeah. You think that money goes to us instead of our boss? Yeah, right. So don't suppose you can tell me if you're in this forest for nefarious reasons? I mean, I gotta consider an AGM pretty nefarious. I mean, are you up to something illegal, shall we say? Can't we gangsters? Everything we do is illegal. I did something illegal just by waking up and having my coffee. Look, just tell me if you're in league with a bunch of dangerous cooks and call it a day. You calling the Crocodile Tears a bunch of dangerous cooks? I mean, it's accurate, but... never mind. Where do we go now? Wait, the flamingo is by a bridge, right? Yeah. So probably this way. Oh, the bridge is out. Oh, maybe up here.
Oh, four. You've got to be kidding me.
Alright everyone, thank you for coming. What the? Thank you for coming to our first Back to Nature book club meeting. Tonight we'll be discussing the beloved classic of Mice and More Mice. Ah, a visitor! Pull up a seat. Ah, hello again. Would you like to join us for our book club? No, I'd like to know the real reason you're out here. We find there's nothing quite like reading books out of doors in the middle of nature. Fresh air, lovely ambience. Getting bitten by mosquitoes? Yeah, I don't buy it. What's your real secret agenda for being out here? I mean, I suppose if we finish the book early, my real secret agenda might have room for kicking off our reading of Snakes and Sensibility. Oh, are you here to join our first Book to Nature book club? Isn't it a marvellous idea? Not really. I'm running out of voices, can you tell? Sounds like the sort of weird cover story a bunch of cultists would come up with. Oh, that's actually in the next book we're reading, I think. Lord of the Butterflies. I can't wait. Don't tell anyone, but I haven't actually read the book we're talking about today. Ha, I knew it. A confession of guilt. What's your real reason for coming then, if not to take part in this so-called book club? I just asked my husband what it was about so I could answer questions and sound smart. Why else would you come to a book club? I was really hoping we were near to the end, but this might go on a little bit longer than I thought. Where do I go now? Where is everybody? I can't go across the river. And I don't see any more yellow dots about. Which would be really helpful right about now. Okay, I can't go back to the bridge. Have I missed someone? Is there like a hidden lair somewhere I've got to find? I can't go across the river. Alright, I'm back at the start now. Okay. That wasn't what I wanted to do, really. Where might a hidden lair be? Do you reckon if I just follow the path we'll get to it? No, following the path brings me here. So where's the lair? Is it over this way? I haven't been over here yet. Huh! I see the yellow dots.
Gee, let me guess. This bunch also has an incredibly convenient excuse for being out here.
How? Didn't expect to run into you out here. Likewise, what are you doing out here? Truffle hunting is something the kids and I do together. Gets us out in the great outdoors and gives us a chance to all bond as a family, you know? Actually, I don't know. In fact, I find it very interesting that you've never mentioned this little hobby before today. The day when certain parties are looking for excuses to be in this neck of the woods. Certain parties? Where? My kids love parties. Also, I'm sure I would have told you about this little tradition of ours in any time you asked about what me and the kids have been up to. I don't think I've ever asked about that, so yeah. Now where do I go? Aha! What is this? This looks like a hideout if ever I've seen one. There's some more people over here though.
Please, let this be the last time I bump into anyone suspicious that I know.
Alright everyone, thanks for coming to the annual police department picnic. Thanks to Betty for putting this all together. Oh yes, definite good use of my time as opposed to actually solving crime. So if you pass by her desk, give her a polite nod in recognition of her service. This picnic is about celebrating the very hard work our department does. We were supposed to be working, and that's why today is all about us, the police. Not party crashers who think they can do our job better than we can, and think they can just sneak up and eavesdrop. He's talking about you, Al. Oh, right. Chief, what are you doing in this forest? Oh! Melon, thanks so much for the raid. Hello, hello, hello. Aurelia, how are you? Good to see you. Hope you had a good stream, Melon. I saw you doing some Spider-Man. Hope that's going well. Phil, hello. Chironical, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope you're all doing good. You ate someone's venom voice. That's amazing. Hope you had a good stream. Thank you so much for bringing all your lovely people here. We're playing a very weird cat detective game, and I'm hoping I'm close to the end, so I'm going to carry on. Chief, what are you doing in this forest? Which part department picnic that you're not invited to did you not pick up on? So I think I've got a lead that'll crack this whole dead cat case wide open. Are you still on about that? The case is closed, Wilde. No case, no reward, no nothing. And no reason for you to be skulking around. Certainly not on a day where we're enjoying ourselves in the woods, completely innocently, without a suspicious possibility in the world. Betty, what are you doing here? Do you need those furry ears of yours cleaned? Department picnic, like I said. Now is not a good time. I don't have time to explain, but these woods are swarming with insane cultists. So far, I've only seen you. So that covers the insane part. Betty, for once in my 9 lives, I'm being serious. Something's going on in this forest to do with whoever's behind that cat case. Oh then, guess it's a good thing the chief insisted we have a picnic today in these woods. Why, because there's even more cover for cultists being out here now? No, because it means I'm around to keep an ear out. No worries, Melon. Thanks so much for stopping by. Thanks for the raid. Have a good sleep. That's good to see. Hope you sleep well. And it sounds like you need all the help you can get. Thanks, really, I mean it. This is too close to being a moment. Go on, keep looking around. Oh, you're that cat who's getting their fur in a twist about the scene at the warehouse. You mean that scene where a cat that looks exactly like me, except for the size, shape and swanky outfit, ended up dead? Yeah, that scene. Don't know why you were so bothered, frankly. Been looking forward to this picnic. I could use some fun social downtime after working so hard. Oh yes, I saw how hard you worked at the archive. So hard. Look, I was awake and capable of conversation. I consider that a pretty damn productive day myself. Besides, it's hard work having the memory of an elephant. It takes a lot of mental diligence to never forget. I guess that makes sense. Also, who are you again? Alright, I think it might be time to investigate this spooky looking house over here.
Looks like a cabin. Exactly the kind of remote secret location a cult needs for all its dark rituals. Who knows what sort of diabolical scene I'll be walking in on. Okay, significantly less diabolical than I expected. But hang on. What is a cabin this nice doing out here? I thought the whole point of a cabin was to go back to nature, not whatever this is. Either someone's missed the point, possibly me, or something's up with this place. I'd better look around.
Okay, there's probably going to be a secret lever somewhere.
Whoa, these wall lamps are really shoddily made.
I'm
They
pretty
just
smart, you
fold
know.
over the second
Just
you
saying.
touch them. Either that, or they're hidden levers.
That's what I said.
But what are the chances a secret cult would be into that sort of thing, right? I wonder if there are any others.
Oh my god, it's on a timer. Oh god.
Ha. Open sesame. Wait. Open sesame? Sesame, would you please open? Ugh. No way I'll make it from the switch to the other side of the door. Not without getting squished. Maybe I could brace the door open with something. I don't know. Eesh. This culture doesn't go much for convenience, does it?
What can I... Do I need to open it again? Oh wait, the wood.
Ah, perfect. That should be sturdy enough to wedge the door open.
That is a bit of a convenient... coincidence, rather. Not convenient.
Woo.
The wood was convenient.
that'll
That's a
hold.
coincidence.
Guess it just needs to for another few seconds.
Uh-oh, this is spooky.
Oh, hey. That's handy. A map of the evil kidnapping cult's lair. See, there it is. Lair in big letters. Even have it underlined. How thoughtful. I guess that must be where the cultists gather. Let's not be there for the moment. What else is there? Oh, hey, it looks like we're close to all the animal cemeteries in the area. That's not creepy in the slightest. The elephant graveyard is near here. Huh. Hope they've got big holes and big shovels to dig them. Budgie burial grounds. For all the budgies and birds of a feather. I was there once. Mistook it for an all-you-can-eat buffet. And, of course, kitty for the dead. I'll be there one day. Not today, I hope. It seems this tunnel system links up with all the cemeteries around here, with different ways to get to each. I'm sure that's not in any way, shape, or form going to be important information to remember. Maybe I should explore for myself a little. Worst case, I can always check the map if I forget anything in 2 minutes or so.
So if we're here, do I just go straight for the lair? We go left when we can?
You know, as raw or take down the weirdo cult as I am, I sort of feel like walking right into their little meeting to tell them off isn't quite the right way to do it. It just seems so gauche. Not to mention dangerous as heck, though clearly that wouldn't stop me.
Okay, so I can't do that yet. Maybe I have to go to the lab or something. Um... There was one to get to the lab, I think.
Oh, they got a cell down here too. Cozy. Everything a cult HQ needs for nefarious shenanigans.
You first. Who's there? How do you know my name? This is Schrodinger, by the way. Started walking around on two paws and wearing clothes and talking. Wait, you're not my Albert, are you? You're the Albert of this universe. Of course, it makes sense. Actually, no, nothing is making sense right now. Let's start with something I can make sense of. Who are you? My name is Erwin Schrodinger. I'm a physicist specializing in quantum theory. And these are my cats, Niels, Werner and Max. Wait, that's not possible. You're on some sort of lecture trip abroad, I think. Also, I'm fairly certain you're not weirdly pink and furless. That must be my counterpart from this universe, I imagine. If there are multiple Alberts, it stands to reason there are multiple Schrodingers. That's right, that wasn't the name Mr. G mentioned. You were the one trapped in the closet, weren't you? Yes, that was me. His wife trapped me in there after I arrived in your world. Mr. G found me and went for help, but his wife returned before he did. She and her cultist friends brought me here, and I've been stuck here ever since, save for when they forced me to work in the lab. Lab? Our world? Hang on, what are you talking about? I'm not from your world. It's complicated to explain. I tried to tell Mr. G, but I don't think he quite understood. But if he didn't understand it, then I'm in deep cow pants. Just try explaining it like I'm 5 years old, because, well, I am 5 years old. Let's start with... You know what? I might save this for next time, because there's probably a bit further to go than I realise. So... we might have to finish that next week. I'm sorry. I was hoping to finish it today, but... we've still got a little bit to go, I think. Alright. I will maybe finish that next Wednesday, possibly. If you want to see the end of Cat Detective. We'll see. I might do something else. Maybe I'll combine it with rallying. I don't know. Alright, anyway, thanks so much for watching, everybody. Shout out to Melon for the raid. I will be back tomorrow. Thank you, Aurelia. I'll be back tomorrow. What am I streaming tomorrow? Oh, it's Blood Bowl. I've got Blood Bowl tomorrow. Hi, Foosh. Yep, sorry, I'm going now. I have Blood Bowl against Newham tomorrow at about 7:30 UK time. I will hopefully see you there. Thursday, I'll be here with a new game called The Root Trees Are Dead. And yes, I'm sure we'll definitely finish Cat Detective next week. Sadly, I don't have time right now. But I don't think there's too far to go. That's a shame. The end really dragged on for a bit. We're going to go raid Commander. Go say hi to Commander chat. Much love to you all. So yeah, Blood Bowl tomorrow. We have what do we have? I just said it. Root trees are dead on Thursday, and American Trucking on Friday. Sorry, my brain is completely gone. American Trucking on Friday, so I'll hopefully see you for that. All right, gang. Thanks a lot. Much love. See you next time. Bye, 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 bye. Bye.